But what we're facing is a strong headwind from the new Republican Congress, who are doing every single thing that they can to make it harder for Hispanics and Latinos and other Americans to succeed. We know that one of the first things that they put in their priority list is deporting dreamers, for example, young children that were brought here at a young age through no fault of their own.
Texas Democratic Congressman Joaquin Castro during a Hispanic caucus press conference saying Republicans are targeting the so-called dreamers with the GOP's opposition to President Obama's executive amnesty.
Yeah, the first steps implementing that executive action were supposed to go into effect tomorrow, but a federal judge ruled late last night in favor of an injunction to block programs from going into effect.
The injunction came in the wake of a lawsuit now joined by 26 states. It was started by Greg Abbott, now the governor of Texas, back when he was attorney general of that state. The lawsuit claims Mr. Obama's executive actions are overreaching and unconstitutional.
The White House quickly responded, saying the court's decision wrongly prevents these lawful, common sense policies from taking effect, and the Department of Justice has indication that it will appeal that decision.
So what does this mean for the president's executive action? Where do we go from here? To talk about that, Ira Mehlman, the media director for the Federation for American Immigration Reform. Ira, good to have you back here on America's Forum. This whole thing, if it were any other president, I would say the president would heed the courts. But I've got a sneaking suspicion that this registration for dreamers will continue unabated. What is your take?
Well, the president is certainly going to try. Look, the president himself, prior to 2012, said this was unconstitutional. You don't even have to rely on the word of the judge in Texas. The president has said it's unconstitutional. But the president has made it clear in recent months that he doesn't think he's bound by the Constitution anymore. He is entering the final 2 years of his presidency. He has essentially told the American public he is going for broke. He is going to carry out his agenda irrespective of what Congress is going to do. But Congress has to do what it has to do. They need to proceed with the defunding precisely because the president is going to use any means available. He will ignore the ruling of this court in Texas. He will try to implement it. Congress needs to cut off funding right now to prevent him from moving forward.
How long do you think this battle is going to continue to play out?
Well, probably for the remainder of the Obama administration. He has made this the centerpiece of his final 2 years in office. He believes this is going to build a constituency for the Democratic Party, that they will have a lock on the White House for the foreseeable future. And he is also creating a situation here where you're going to have many, many people in this country more heavily dependent on government services. Again, that works for the benefit of his party. It doesn't work for the benefit of the American middle class. And it doesn't even work for the benefit of Hispanics in the United States. The best thing that could happen to Hispanic workers, Hispanic students in this country, is to actually enforce the laws, allow American citizens to get the jobs that are available, to take advantage of the educational opportunities that are available. But the president is going to try to make this into a racial or an ethnic battle, when in fact it really is his political agenda versus the best interests of the American people.
Ira, only about 45 seconds remain. I need your take on this. Have Republicans in the House and Senate opposed this president in the proper way to try to stop these actions, in your opinion?
Well, the House certainly has. They voted in their appropriations bill to cut off funding. The Senate needs to follow suit, and if they can't get the necessary Democrats, then John Boehner and the House leadership, when it comes to a conference committee, they need to draw a line in the sand and saying, we're not budging from this. If the president wants to shut down about a quarter or 15% of the Department of Homeland Security, well, he needs to explain that to the American people. But we are going to prevent him from using money to just carry out his political agenda.
Ira Mehlman, we thank you for your time. We'll keep an eye on what happens with the so-called dreamers. Of course, from my perspective, it's been an absolute nightmare, and you have a president, you just heard Ira say, not really interested in heeding the decision of the court.
Well, and remember that this only gives the states time to get those lawsuits together, so it'll be interesting.
That collective lawsuit. Yeah, you may think we drone on, but next time it's really going to be a discussion of drones. Danny Wright joins us to talk about commercial drones and the new FAA ruling. Stay with us.